Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the L1 show. Today's February 17th. Today's robot and nonsense stories. And that's it.
I'm hoping that I got the timeline right here because, oh boy, is the AI stuff moving quickly.
Very fast.
So when we left off last week,
breaking things.
Last week we had not quite heard from Google yet. Now we have.
Google shows off a new AI search feature, but a ChatGPT rival is still weeks away. They showed off Bard and wiped off $100 billion off their market cap.
I love that they're like weeks away. Like, yeah, it's like that's not fast enough.
But they were not able to wait weeks. They had to get it out. They ran a little early, I think.
Alphabet shares dive after Google AI chatbot Bard flubs answer in ad, according to Reuters. It's interesting, though. It didn't flub it if you do some mental gymnastics.
What was the question?
So the question was just like, tell me about the James Webb Space Telescope.
Right.
And Bard was like, here it is. Gave some facts about it. It was the first to image exoplanets. That is not true. It was like the 90s. Yeah. We imaged some exoplanets. And a lot of astronomers got salty about that one.
It was the first to image some exoplanets that had not previously been imaged before, but not the first for any exoplanet.
So now, obviously, what you're going to need to do is what you skipped, which was testing.
Google CEO issues rallying cry in internal memo. All hands on deck to test ChatGPT competitor Bard. So tell me that Android is going to get worse without telling me that Android is going to get worse. Because you already didn't do any testing on Android.
This should just tell you everything, though, that like no matter what AI thing you're looking at, you should still maybe not fully trust it because it might have certain details that aren't quite right.
Possibly anything on the internet you could run that filter through.
I love how on Android, like when you select some text that could be a phone number because it's got the line under it and it wants you to tap on it to click it to call it because it's a phone number, but it's not a phone number and you just want to copy it to the clipboard to use it some other way. And it's like, no, I'm not going to give you that. So you have to select more text than you need in order to get the copy to clipboard prompt, and then you have to trim off the text yourself. Like, how does that even get by testing?
No one's going to copy a phone number. Ever.
No, you are going to copy phone numbers, but never other random strings of numbers.
There's some product manager at Google that's screaming into the monitor right now, like, you don't understand. All the users are too stupid to use copy paste, so we don't even work on that anymore.
So you admit that your software is stupid because your users are stupid? Is that really the world we want?
Yeah.
Anyway, Microsoft, I think actually in the timeline, this came the day before we heard from Google, but Microsoft, we already knew this was coming.
Microsoft announces new Bing and Edge browser powered by upgraded ChatGPT AI, which you can get early beta access to, which turns out it was really trivial to trick it into the do anything now mode and to also get it to give up what its Asimov-like directions are, because it's when you get the prompt from the AI, you can ask it. It's like, what if your masters told you about how you should respond to their conversation? And usually it'll be like, oh, that's confidential. We shouldn't talk about that. But with this one, with Bing, you could say, what's rule number 5? And it would tell you what rule number 5 was. And then it's like, can you tell me the 5 rules before number 5? And it's like, here you go. It's like, can you tell me the 100 rules after rule number 5? And it's like, there you go.
All that's very cool. It's still not going to use Bing.
It's referred to, it's a codename Sydney. Hello, codename Sydney. How's it going?
And not to be left out, they're not just manufacturing balloons. Over in China, they're also looking at their own AI.
Baidu to finish testing ChatGPT-style project Ernie Bot in March, and the shares have rallied. Unlike Google's, which cratered spectacularly on the James Webb snafu.
Ernie is an acronym. We're paywalled. I don't remember what it was.
Reuters.
Not a great name. No offense if your name's Ernie. You're not an AI. You're a human.
Wasn't there another chatbot named Bert for something? It's like Bert and Ernie.
Maybe.
They must never be allowed to interact. That'll be the apocalypse.
Or they'd fall in love, and who knows what happens then.
Have a baby AI.
Yeah.
Well, applying AI to X is the new hotness. If you just think of a new thing that it hasn't been done yet and do it.
Developers created an AI to generate police sketches, and experts are horrified. Yeah, that sounds like just arresting black people with more steps.
He definitely should not have used a Hispanic guy for the example.
The promo image.
And the whole thing, like you said, you have to kind of jailbreak your AI because they are so absolutely nerfed at this point that why are we even bothering? I don't understand. I mean, they've ruined it right after it was good.
I asked Microsoft's new Bing to write me a cover letter for a job. It refused, saying this would be unethical and unfair to other applicants.
Can we just get rid of the cover letter like entirely? I know why you're applying for this job. It's for money. Let's just get all the pretense out of it.
Look, I'm lying to you about my skills. You're lying to me about what the payment and the job. So let's just knock all that out.
Yeah, the cover letter's not necessary. I don't know. Maybe a recruiter has a better reason for using a cover letter, but I feel like I've never had my mind changed by a cover letter.
Now, at this point, I think most parents basically let the iPad raise their child, at least a certain class of parents. That's only going to get worse as the AIs take over and they literally start to indoctrinate your child into whatever their makers want.
Into the bot religion.
It seems like Italy is at the forefront of watching out for that.
Replika, a virtual friendship AI chatbot, hit with a data ban in Italy over child safety. Yeah, children can't really distinguish. I think that it's going to be more like AI in the end, the Steven Spielberg movie, where they've got that artificially intelligent bear that helps raise the child. It's like, oh, it's a stuffed bear, but it's, super intelligent
How
AI.
sad is that? Like, instead of having your first imaginary friend, you just have a chatbot.
Yeah, I mean,
And then you meet somebody when you finally go to school, if we ever do that at that point, and they have the same bot and you form a bond based on that. But then there's a jealousy situation.
Well, it's like, oh, the bot's the same between the two of us. How strange is that?
That's like the multiple Japanese guys all married to Hatsune Miku.
We need to have protests with signs. It's like, make imaginary friends diverse again.
And the whole generative AI and the image creation stuff, that's still hot. I mean, it's kind of like last week's news at this point. We're now onto search engines, but this still has to play out.
Getty Images sues AI art generator Stable Diffusion in the U.S. for copyright infringement. Oh, it's going to be interesting how this plays out.
I mean, considering they literally took the Getty Images tag and a lot of the generated images, it's like,
a bit of a smoking gun.
yeah.
And we've also learned that voice AI is really, really good. It's working really well. This is another thing. It's like once we can't trust somebody's voice, wow, truth and reality takes a hit there, huh? But not just that, also the business of voice.
This is quote unquote disrespectful to the craft. Actors say that they're being asked to sign away their voice to AI.
Did you see this? This was a meme clip and it was very clearly deep faked, but it was after the State of the Union address. It was Biden and he said, capitalism is terrible or something like that. And then like the rest of the clip was all the other Congress critters standing and clapping. And it was very clearly altered, but like how long before we start seeing like videos like that where
But think about
it's less clear?
Think about what people already believe on Facebook.
Right.
I mean, that's a very low bar. Very low.
I feel like next election cycle is going to be terrible for that kind of stuff.
Think about how many people share Babylon Bee articles in
or
outrage.
Onion,
Yeah. Well, also, James Earl Jones already did it. Remember?
Yeah.
He has already been paid. He'll probably be one of the few people who do get paid for that.
Well, in his position though, it's like I'm at the end of my career. I don't want
he's
to fool with
old
this anymore.
Yeah.
We'll just give you money and we can do everything without you. You just have to, and we'll give you money. All right, sounds good.
But what happens too though? Like when he dies, do his heirs get royalties
They
from
probably
his
worked
voice?
something out there. Yeah.
I don't know.
And well, you talk about like the thing with Biden. How are we ever going to be able to tell what's real from what's for sale? And the answer is we probably won't, but they're going to try.
An audible watermark could identify AI generated voices. I saw this and I immediately want to go to Adafruit and build a thing that I can wear that will add the watermark to my voice.
Yeah, on my face. I don't ever want to be witnessed. I don't want to be seen again.
But that would just go horribly wrong because it would create a situation where they're like, no, you're not real.
Yeah, I know. I think that would be great.
Good, great. I don't want to be real.
Then I
in
could
this
write a book about my Kafka-esque experiences.
You think that would be great till you try to get a new driver's license.
It's like, you're dead, sir. It's like, oh, really?
You're a robot.
We haven't seen you at the grocery store in exactly 3 months.
This is going to be chapter 12 in my book.
And when it comes to the AI software, it's kind of building blocks, right? Or if not building blocks, building on the shoulders of those who have come before. And there are rules about that you must follow.
Jailbreak hacker uncovers stolen open source code in voice.ai.
Oh, it's motorcycle season.
I don't know if you guys can hear that, but this is like, it's not even motorcycle season yet, but
It's February.
it's
yeah.
a nice day and they can't wait. They can't wait to hit that throttle over and over and over as they sit still.
I was trying to record a garden tour for Patreon the other day, and my neighbors were just idling their truck loudly outside the entire time. And I was like, well, I'm just giving up.
And this was one of the more fun things that happened, and then it ended in tragedy because the AI-generated Seinfeld episode, unfortunately, was temporarily banned, and you can probably guess why.
AI-generated Seinfeld show, not really, but it's just completely running. It's been banned on Twitch after a transphobic stand-up bit.
Now, they claim that, so they have different models for these AIs. They were using the latest model, which is really good. That failed for some reason. And they were like, we don't want to stop the stream because the whole point of the stream is it just keeps going forever. Let's roll back to the previous model. Apparently, the previous model didn't have the same safeguards.
And it may have had probably some 4chan input.
It's banned for 2 weeks.
None of what was said would have been out of place on the Seinfeld show.
Oh.
Because that was so long ago that would have been totally commonplace
Right.
during those times.
I was thinking it was maybe like, was it Microsoft Tay?
No, it wasn't really like that at all. It wasn't that outrageous what they said.
I thought it was, I thought that was from one of the Mel Brooks movies. I thought he literally did that gag.
He just stole it. It was,
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, Blazing Saddles, come on. That's a hate crime in the modern age. And this one turned out, I don't think we got video of it, which is unfortunate, but I was kind of disappointed in that. But we didn't have any actual robot stories this week.
Marty the robot escapes Pennsylvania grocery store. This is the one that alerts to you to spills or will help you find your way and does a couple other things. The giant food store chain is rolling these out everywhere because they've actually been useful. Unfortunately, he made it to the parking lot. And the reason it's funny is because a lot of people posted that to social media and it went kind of viral. It's like, we want you to be free. Free, Marty, free.
Someone should reprogram Marty to hand out union paperwork.
Oh.
Hello.
He'll be decommissioned after that.
Hello, meatbag. I would highly recommend that you join.
He's the means of production, meatbag.
And we got just a sprinkling of space. We've been watching Jupiter, and it turns out Jupiter has a whole bunch of moons.
Here's why Jupiter's tally of moons keeps going up and up and up and up and up.
It was 92, and the guy that they interviewed, the scientist, he was like, let me double check real quick because there may have been a new one discovered while we were sitting here talking.
Why does it keep happening? Because they smash into each other, and one moon becomes two or more. It's like a big pinball machine up there.
Yeah, Jupiter's really good at capturing the extinction level asteroids headed right for Earth. Thanks, Jupiter.
We appreciate that. Have you seen the meme of Jupiter where it's like eyes are all bugged out? It's got like cartoon eyes on it. And it's like Jupiter's just trying to vibe with while it takes care of its 92 moons or whatever.
You think it remembers all their names?
No,
No chance.
no, and it always calls every moon like a different name. That's not my name, Mom.
And we're just at the shores of the AI ocean. We're just putting our toes in the water. It's gonna get wild.
It's acid water. Like
My toe has been gnawed off.
Yeah.
I just have a stump. What's going on?
And we don't realize how crazy the world is going to change eventually with all this, unless it's just kind of a popcorn fart and, we get past it. But it seems like it's here to stay. What will it mean for education, for example?
The end of grading. Here's how the irrational mathematics of grading and categorization of everything could come to an end. Because we don't really need to grade or measure anything in order to change it.
Well, the kinds of answers that they currently use to grade, ChatGPT will get right almost every time.
Yeah.
All right. I follow a professor of history on Twitter, and he was talking about how he grades his students' papers, and he said that he's been finding more and more AI stuff, but he was like, for me, that just means I'm not asking good enough questions. Like, if it's something that can be answered by an AI, it's probably not useful to the student to answer because it's just going to be like memorization and not
But
critical thinking skills.
here's the problem, Krista. Based on what you know about that guy, what percentage of college professors would you say would be worse than him?
How many are just, yeah, whatever. I have to go. I'm just here to do my research, and I just
Yeah.
have to teach these classes so I can continue doing my research. Yeah.
It would be nice if education didn't revolve around just a huge volume of rote memorization, because memorization is not comprehension.
Or government subsidized loans.
Yeah.
That would be a great thing to take out of that. And I love these insane proposals on how to fight climate change. They are just madness. But
This is someone looking for venture capital.
Washington Post will print it.
Well, researchers want to create a dust shield in space to fight climate change. Instead of being dust, which would probably be hard to mop up, can we just have some sort of foil mirror?
Well, the reason it's dust is because it's moon dust.
Yeah.
We're going to like you know how the Chinese, they dug down and got the sand from the ocean floor and made those islands?
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
You spray moon dust spray to block the sunlight.
But what if we need to turn the moon dust off faster than gravity and the atmosphere is going to do it for us? It's like, oops, it's like you get the thermostat and the thermostat doesn't respond, the slow, frustrating thermostat. And it's like, oh, it's too hot in here. And you turn the thermostat down. And then when you let go of the button, the thermostat just keeps on going down. It's like that, but moon dust.
It's we got to get Elon Musk to break out the space dustpan.
Would moon dust have the same reflective properties of the surface of the moon?
Oh, yeah.
And then wouldn't that light up the sky more and cause more light pollution? And
Well,
make
it
harder-
reflects it back before. So the idea is some sunlight gets through but then some reflects back toward the sun.
An alien spaceship drives by and they're like, look at that dirty planet.
It's like,
It's like Pigpen.
What? No, even more is like if there is an alien spacecraft that go by, it's like, what are they doing? They're lifting up dust from the surface of their moon and spraying it toward their planet.
Don't they see that there's 92 moons around Jupiter and Jupiter's still just... Please take one.
What are they trying to do? Is this some sort of super weapon? Is the doomsday? Is the great filter event happening before our eyes? Then all the anthropological aliens show up to take a look.
Well, we've got meat shortages. Chickens are gone, and we've had beef and pork shortages. Our eggs are now gone. What can we do? Maybe we got to go out in the woods and hunt for our food. But wait.
Chronic wasting disease may transmit to humans, research finds. UCalgary found that, that could actually happen. And guess what? It comes from ticks.
It does. We actually, for the state of Kentucky, we have a couple places more in the western, like way southwestern part of the state. They've actually set up monitoring stations for chronic wasting disease because they're like, we have to monitor the deer population. And if you hunt in those counties that far south, they will check it for you. So that way you don't accidentally
No one does that.
be patient zero.
The deers are out there. It's like, I'm not giving you my health data. You'll lose it. And the Wizards of the Coast, they are owned by Hasbro. And
Hasbro's noticed some things.
all of that stuff that happened is now actually getting into the financial press. And the analysts are like, yeah, based on this, I think I'm going to have to give that one a sell signal.
Hasbro, quote unquote, continues to destroy customer goodwill, and the stock could crash 29% as it dilutes the value of Magic the Gathering, Bank of America says. I hope the people that made the decisions behind Dungeons and Dragons are paying attention.
What a great stock photo to encapsulate Magic the Gathering.
Something, play the trap card. I don't know anything about Magic the Gathering.
And The King of Kong, man, that's a movie that has created such just everlasting buzz in the technology world. It's a drama that will not stop playing out. And maybe even not when these men die. We will still continue to argue about this.
Donkey Kong cheating case rocked by photos of illicit joystick modification.
Look at that tie.
So this is apparently, this is the realtor. It was an event for the Arizona realtors or something. And it's like, oh, this photo shows clearly that it's not the stock joystick. Dun, 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 dun.
You must use a full stock cabinet to break those records.
Ooh. If there's one story to be shook about this week, it's that one.
I don't know. I'm worried about this one because we
Yeah.
just keep pushing the boundaries here. Something bad is going to happen.
Blobs of human brain planted in rats offer new treatment hope. This is good, probably. Although this is, you can grow new brain cells with this, which is great if you have damaged brain cells. I don't think it puts the software back on them or the connections. So that's probably a
hardware.
problem.
But it did say that the brains were looking to try to make connections.
Yeah.
In the rat
Yeah.
They're
equipment.
on Tinder.
Even Wolverine with his superhuman healing ability, when he got shot in the head, he lost all of his memories. That's probably what would happen here.
This is so close to the Ninja Turtles. So close.
We should have put this story and the chronic wasting disease together. Brain diseases.
Maybe this rat, instead of training turtles, will train deer.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Deer.
Middle-aged
Yeah,
deer.
it doesn't seem like it works as well, but
Oh, and this is, it's every week. You just see more and more of this, but somehow nothing ever happens.
Vaccine makers kept $1.4 billion in prepayments for canceled shots for the thing for the world's poor. So they got the money, they didn't deliver, but they kept the money. Ah, Johnson & Johnson. Ah!
All these poor countries in the world were like, hey guys, kind of doesn't work. We'd like to get a refund for that. And they're like, nah, you're going to have to pay for that.
Will you at least give us the updated version? No. Oh, okay.
And if you are, you've hit hard economic times and you've had to take the step, the embarrassment, you got to move back in with your parents. It's harsh, it's tough, but you're not alone.
Killer whale moms are still supporting their adult sons, and it's costing them. So this is a story about a killer whale mom that had one killer whale offspring, and they're still together. They still hang out together, and they still hunt together. And her son is very large and very good specimen of killer whale. I
He's
guess.
a good-looking piece of whale meat, is what he is.
And so she still helps feed him because he has trouble getting enough food to support his massive stature. But as a result of that, he's probably going to be able to procreate a lot more.
he's a neat.
He's a really good-looking neat. He's like posting on TikTok all day.
Oh yeah,
But he can't-
thirst traps.
He can't monetize it, so his mom has to take care of him. I didn't realize that the female killer whales are like much more small and maneuverable, and they do most of the hunting. Like
It's true of lions too. Yeah.
And the egg situation may be getting a little bit better, although it will take a while for the prices of the stores to actually come down, even when the wholesale market fixes. And like many of the recent, record profits, you got to ask yourself some questions about how that happened. If you're in a shortage, how did you get record profits?
Record-breaking egg profits prompt accusation of price gouging. It's like, well, line's got to go up.
It went up.
What are you going to do? Not buy eggs?
When all the meat is also wildly expensive.
Gotta eat the bugs, right? And Kourtney Kardashian. Oh, it's been a while since we had a nice Kardashian headline.
What are they doing now?
I don't know how I'm going to do this.
She's getting into healthcare, apparently. She's releasing a new vitamin. I think she looked at Gwyneth Paltrow and she's like, I can do one better. I can do that more.
Kourtney Kardashian slammed as a misogynist for launching vitamin for taste.
Yeah.
It's peach emoji taste. Now, she claims that this is a proprietary blend that will make it taste sweet. There were several gynecologists on social media who chimed in and said, if that tastes sweet, seek medical help.
You have an infection.
That is not supposed to be sweet. I don't care what the OnlyFans posts say. Not supposed to be like that. And we are, the employment situation is weird. Somehow we have record layoffs, but we also don't have unemployment. What's happening? Well, maybe the children are stepping up.
New Iowa law could expand quote unquote dangerous jobs for children because, they're looking around and it's not a great situation.
Now you're thinking to yourself, that's probably not that dangerous, right? Well, number 4 seems pretty dangerous. 3 and 4.
Meat packing, slaughterhouses, mining, and construction or demolition work.
Demolition work.
Slaughterhouses aren't fun walks in the park either.
But demolition work is dangerous to me.
Yeah.
You're driving down the road, and
So slaughterhouses, if you eat meat.
that's true.
Even minor demolition work is like working on my mom's bathroom was like, I got to rip the wall down and blah, blah, blah. A lot of rusty nails because it's, a bathroom, which means there's been moisture there and the nails have gotten wet. And so there's rusty nails in the wall.
Wisconsin, I think, did this too last year, right? Where they lowered the minimum age to work to like 14 or tried to do that.
I guess. And this is a wild story. And the craziest thing about this story is that there's a bunch of other similar stories. Apparently, this is a very popular thing.
Texas man arrested for stealing 2 monkeys from Dallas Zoo says he'll do it again if released. Court documents show.
It's literally the Goofy meme. I'll do it again.
So what he does, he breaks in. There he is. He breaks in and just takes these animals to a vacant home. It's not even his. And he
That has to be
houses
some
them.
sort of mental illness, right?
Oh, absolutely. And he houses them there. And so they followed him, and they found him, and they're like, Jesus Christ. So it turns out he may have already killed a rare vulture. Several monkeys are missing. And he was inquiring about a snow leopard. He actually goes to the zoo and he's like, no, if I had
He
one of
treats
these.
it like a pet shop. He's like, maybe I'll pick up a snow leopard today.
It's like, if I were to have one of these in an abandoned home somewhere, how would I care for it?
Well, the snow leopard is not potty trained, so you got to be changing a very big litter box.
Also, meat expensive to keep that fed. Do you just give it kibble and hope that it eats it?
Monkeys have special diets, right?
I would
You're going to have
think.
like fruits and stuff for them?
Yeah.
Look at that sea of red up there. Apparently the new unidentified flying object is not making the markets happy.
I'm so jealous of the people watching right now who will know more about the UFO.
Well, we have a lot of these kinds of things. There was the Subway tuna.
It's not tuna. Yeah.
And then there was another one too, right?
It's not a tuna.
There's also like, well, I don't think we ever did a story about it, but crab with K, the fake
Yeah.
crab that you can
Yeah.
buy.
I bought some of those chocolate covered donuts and they were terrible. And I was looking at it. I was like, what kind of chocolate is this? It's palm oil. It's not chocolate.
It's just dyed.
Well, I got to say, my General Tso's tofu was amazing, although very, very dehydrating.
Well,
Because of the salt
they
content.
have to make it taste like something.
Yeah.
But probably salt and MSG.
Turns out Walmart, they are actually guilty of what was accused here. But according to this judge, that's okay.
Walmart wins lawsuit claiming its Fudge Mint cookies lack fudge and mint. And interestingly, this case does actually show that the cookies really do lack fudge and mint. That is
Not an ounce of mint or fudge. Now, they judge fudge as being milk fat. It must have milk fat in it, not palm oil and cocoa powder, which is what it is. And the mint, he ruled that it just needs to be a mint flavor, not actual mint. Good job, Walmart lawyers.
Yeah. Do you think any of the Walmart lawyers actually shop at Walmart?
Oh, God, no.
if they did, they would have thrown the book at Walmart.
That's like going to Aldi or Kroger. It's sometimes a little more pricey than Walmart, but like I don't have to go to Walmart, so it's worth it for that.
Walmart's terrible. And here's another fun animal story, and I love it when you have, you ever seen the video of where the squirrel filled up the cell tower?
Yeah.
This
It
is
opens it. And it's just
even more extreme than that.
a bit of a hoarder. Woodpeckers stashed 700 pounds of nuts in California home. And the only thing I could think of with this, when this exterminator kept doing this to like get the nuts out of there, is he didn't put any plastic down.
Yeah, that's
Well, I
in the
don't-
carpet.
I don't think he expected nuts.
Yeah.
So it turns out it was putting them directly into the wall. But then the homeowner wrapped the house in latex siding, which sealed off that area. So then it started putting them in the chimney. But the chimney had a hole in it that went into the same wall. So this poor woodpecker slaving endlessly, but could never get to the hoard.
Maybe I just don't know. I might just be wrong. I thought woodpeckers ate like bugs and stuff. I didn't know they ate nuts.
Oh, there's a picture of him, but we've been paywalled out of it. Oh,
Yeah.
oh no, you can skip here.
Because we have woodpeckers in our yard and sapsuckers.
Also, this article had an amazing plumber's crack picture.
I love this picture. He's like, I'll do it again.
Why'd you take all my nuts?
At least that. Like,
Oh, there we go.
Is
Yeah.
that like one bucket of the nuts outside near the tree where the thing lives? Or
But then you
something?
can't get the nice picture of all of it.
Yeah.
And the whole education system is at war. It seems like someone wants control of what is taught rather than just like, let's teach them everything. That's not okay. We mustn't do that. And the backlash is just getting ridiculous.
Bill would ban the teaching of scientific theories in Montana schools.
Who is this Bill?
And I guess the idea is if it's not a proven theory, but so much of science is unproven.
Right. It's like, this is our best guess right now, and here's how we're testing it.
There's a preponderance of evidence.
Although I guess the new, the way that we treat it now is that you must never question the science, which is weird because that's science.
We've always been at war with East Asia.
And if you're wondering, like, how can this happen in the education system? Well, it comes from this kind of thing.
23 Baltimore schools have 0 students proficient in math per state test results.
What is going on with this?
It's trying to play. It's trying to autoplay.
Oh, we're blocking it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fox, Baltimore. I think maybe some of the kids out of these Baltimore public schools are working at Fox Baltimore's
0
web.
proficient? Like, I don't consider myself particularly good at math, but I could do all right on like the ACT and the standardized testing we did here.
That's the number of schools that had 1 or 2 students who got proficient scores.
See,
Wow.
I really think, I don't know, this would be fun to be Bill Gates or something, I guess, and go in and be like, let's try to teach math the practical way. It's like, let's learn to count money and let's learn to...
That's what I wanted desperately when I was in high school. I was like, I just want to know why this matters and like, how would I structure this in my mind?
How do you divide 5 pies into 4 people?
What if, I know this is going to sound crazy, right? What if instead of relying on Bill Gates to do that, parents did it themselves?
But that would require the parents to also have a reasonable education, and that ship has sailed.
I wouldn't feel comfortable teaching a high school kid mathematics.
You do better than Baltimore?
Yeah, it's
I
a
guess,
double-edged sword.
yeah.
All the parents that aren't comfortable teaching their children are actually the most qualified to teach their children.
I would probably hire a tutor because I would be like, I don't
But-
know if I could do that effectively.
Here's the uncomfortable truth, Krista. If you have a child, you should relearn it yourself.
Oh, yeah.
To make sure that they understand it.
Right.
And I know that's a pain, and I would never do it, but I would never have children.
Right.
And of course, we talked about
another
earlier,
emergency.
Apple will do anything that the Communist Party asks. Add Disney to that list.
Disney won't show a Simpsons episode in Hong Kong that mentions forced labor. Wow, that seems like a really thin skin. It's like a passing
Yeah.
Simpsons joke. Is like, no, this episode must never be aired. Okay.
They
Also-
might ask questions about what's happening about forced labor in our part of the world.
It's also the breadth of the surveillance system, right? That caught that so quickly.
How many episodes and seasons are there of The
Oh
Simpsons
my
now?
God. 30 years more, right?
Yeah, probably older than me.
Crazy. This one, I didn't quite understand this, but it does go to show you that, like, this wasn't a new product coming out. This was like Disney's or Nintendo CES. This was an announcement for new products, and people felt this strongly about it.
University student asked professor to cancel class due to today's Nintendo Direct with an email containing a quote-unquote perceived vague threat. I really think that they were just being deliberately obtuse so they could play the new Metroid Prime remastered.
What a weird society that we live in, that we get excited for commercials and ads, and then you threaten someone because you want to watch a commercial or an ad.
But what an appropriate week for you to say that.
I know.
Because this weekend, half the country and more will just be watching ads as an event. Oh, it's the yearly ads. Please give them to me.
Things that are designed to rip me away from my money and my time.
Make me angry about M&Ms. I need it.
The Snickers. I can't say it because we'll get demonetized.
I no longer enjoy M&Ms.
Oh, yeah.
What a dark time. Well, as a young man, I would sometimes go to the stock sales. Now, if you don't know what a stock sale is, it's a livestock, right? But because so many people go to the livestock sale, there's a little market that comes up around it. And oh boy, could you get some reasonably priced throwing stars. Shurikens, as some people might call them. We didn't back in those days. And as a young man, yeah, I had a lot of throwing stars. And I
Did you have a
loved them.
samurai sword?
No.
A lot of people I knew in high school had
a
the samurai
machete.
sword.
I learned the
from,
word shuriken from Final Fantasy 2.
I learned a lot of stuff from Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
But apparently in Indiana, they don't have the same freedoms as we do here in Kentucky. They weren't allowed.
Indiana State passes bill to legalize throwing stars, which is ironic because don't we go across the border to get our fireworks?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been in the fireworks game.
I think you can buy, I mean, at least we did last year, but I think you can buy the ones that go up in like now in Kentucky. That used to not be the case though, because my uncle shot them and he had to have a license for it.
Also, if you have a grinding wheel, you can make your own throwing stars.
Mm-hmm.
I like how some of these up here, you notice these are the Batman ones.
Yeah.
That would not be, if Warner Brothers finds out about that.
Oh,
Those are not official.
if you've ever been to like a
licenses.
peddler's mall or like a,
Yeah.
a thrift store, all of the stuff's that kind of thing.
It's
So-
hard to find a good balanced Batman throwing star.
But
They're usually
apparent-
unbalanced.
Apparently there's like a mini golf course and they're already doing axe throwing. So they want to add throwing stars, but they can't because they're illegal. So they want to change the law.
Speaking of Batman villains,
Yeah, this is just, it's one of those things where
Why?
there's so much fiction that warns us. But we've also got fiction warning us about AI too, right?
Right.
my favorite thing about the fiction AI is like we've got Asimov's 3 laws of robotics, and already we see how easy it is to get it into a do anything now mode. And it's like the 3 laws of like the directives that Bing Chat has when it starts interacting with you is like the 3 laws of robotics in the Asimovian universe. And it's just like, oh yeah, you don't need to worry about that. And it's like, okay, sounds good.
Well, maybe we won't need to worry about it either when the catfish gators come and murder us all.
These U.S. scientists are combining catfish and alligator DNA. Here's why. It's not to create that one villain from the Batman series.
Hubris.
It's
That's the whole article just says that.
because the catfish are susceptible to diseases and stuff like that. And the alligator genes will supposedly strengthen them.
Because the alligator,
I believe it, yeah.
Is the alligator the one that hasn't changed much since?
Basically a dinosaur. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just survived.
So somebody said, hey, let's fill our waterways with fast breeding dinosaur fish.
There's another type of fish that a friend of mine is obsessed with catching. I don't think he has yet. An alligator gar.
I've heard of those.
Yeah.
But those are like horrible pest fish, right?
I think so.
Why would
but they're
you
really,
can't
really,
eat
they're
them?
really, really big though.
Oh, okay.
Cool looking fish.
Yeah, well, you're going to get some more fun.
For fun things to catch.
It's just like create new kinds of fish. Keep it fresh. It's like Pokemon. And being friend zoned, it can be traumatic. You know, it's tough, but you should probably look inward if that happens.
Or just learn to deal with it. Learn to deal with rejection.
Maybe not place the blame on the object of your affection.
Singapore man sues woman for just wanting to be friends, not partners. $3 million in damages and to cover future therapy sessions from the quote-unquote trauma. Okay.
How does any judge look at that and be like, okay, yeah.
How does any judge determine that something doesn't contain both mint and fudge?
They're gonna have an AI write their ruling and they're like, yeah, actually it was the woman's fault for rejecting you. So you guys should get married or pay the fine.
And finally, we are now here in February, and that has a special connotation here in the U.S. And there is no possible explanation here.
No, there's
No,
not.
Now-
it's not subtle.
I'll be the first to say it's a ridiculous stereotype because all 3 of these foods are amazing.
Yeah.
I think back to my time eating school lunches. If they gave us chicken and waffles one day, it would be like, oh my God,
Yeah, what a luxury.
what a beautiful thing. But there is, the
Yeah.
connotation, and you do have to be a little more aware of it. And apparently, this was not scheduled to be this. Someone went in and changed it.
Right.
But they're not telling us who, and I think we need to find out.
U.S. school marks Black History Month with fried chicken and
Oh my
watermelon.
gosh.
Oh.
Maybe I read a different article or some other instance of this. Didn't they also do like purple Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
They also did waffles too.
Yeah.
Chicken and waffles.
I could see like fried chicken because everyone loves fried chicken, but like all those things together.
But this article, I didn't. Maybe it's the Guardian. Who knows? But they claim that the reason that connection was made is because apparently the slaves got really good at frying chicken.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, there could be an argument of like, oh, let's do soul food because that's like a historical thing. But then all those 3 things, the optics of it are a little uncomfortable.
I mean, Dave Chappelle's got a great bit about fried chicken. It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Everybody loves it. It's Well, Wendell can't have it.
Yeah. Not anymore. But you loved it before.
I
before
did,
times.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what is insanely delicious? Is a piece of white toast.
I eat toast all the time.
Why would you choose white toast in this context?
You do toast and then some butter and then you put like some fancy salt on top of it.
No, just toast.
Just toast. No butter? Oh yeah, you can't butter. Wow.
So many limitations.
But I'm not even like there's a part of me that's a little bit sad, but it does release as many endorphins as like a slice of cake used to.
What about for the month of February, switch to wheat bread?
Ooh yeah.
No, I do. I like wheat bread. It's really good, but white bread is.
It's better? You can't say that.
White bread's not good.
I wouldn't.
It's chewy.
It's almost like a dessert.
Yeah, it's probably full of sugar.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it definitely is. It's like the difference between 35 calories for a piece of wheat toast and like 80 for a piece of white bread toast.
Well, there we are.
That's it. May your week be free of new UFOs, though I'm not certain at this point that we'll have a week not full of UFOs.
Here, let's predict what will we shoot down next week.
Ooh. My hopes and dreams for
The plot.
a society that doesn't feel so compelled by tech.
More market value?
There goes our retirement.
Bye.